Here's a secret that 0.01% Guardians know about, and it will give you a 20% damage increase when doing the new dungeon. The Root of Nightmare's weapons have an origin trait called Harmonic Resonance. It reads, equipping multiple weapons from the set grants this weapon increased reload speed and handling. It also deals increased damage versus Tormentors, Lucent Hive, remember that, and Guardians using their supers. If you have 3 weapons with this equipped, it will actually give you a 10% increase to damage. And in this season's artifact, there's an artifact perk called Deeper Origins, which reads greatly improves the benefits provided by the unsated Harmonic Resonance, which increases that damage buff from 10% to 20%. And there's another artifact mod called Overcharged Armory this season, which reads weapons with Harmonic Resonance are always overcharged weapons for when that modifier is active, which boosts the weapon damage by an additional 25%. Now you might be thinking to yourself, Lucky, you're crazy. There's no way I'm gonna run around in the new dungeon with 3 Root of Nightmare's weapons, but that's where you'd be wrong. While Conditional Finality doesn't actually have the origin trait, it does benefit from those buffs and can buff other weapons from the Root of Nightmares. This weapon itself doesn't gain bonus damage, but it does get increased handling and reload speed, which makes using it so sick because that's what it needs. It needs really fast reload because you pop off 2 shots and you have to reload over and over again. Those damage increases that I mentioned actually stack with surge mods, other weapon perks, and personal damage buffs, and all the bosses in the new dungeon count as Lucent Hive for this damage boost. So have fun mowing through all the ads and enemies in the new dungeon with your newfound information, and also keep in mind that Nezrak does count as a tormentor, so he does take increased damage as well. So now that you're aware of the increase in damage that you can get from this, we can actually create an entire build around this that's actually ridiculously OP. I'm using Conditional Finality, of course, Acacia's Dejection, I have Reconstruction and Paracausal Affinity on the Adept roll. This is going to give me a buff because it is a solar weapon and I'm using a solar subclass. So this is going to just do absolutely insane damage. You can see I'm just melting through majors with this trace rifle. And then on the power weapon, we're going to use Briar's Contempt, which just destroys those wizards. Their solar shields, melts through absolutely everything. I have Surrounded on this one, but there's a variety of different rolls that you could use. I also have Reconstruction on this one and Boss Spec. And this thing is actually sick. I'm glad I grinded for this. With those 3 weapons, I'm going to end up getting my Harmonic Resonance ×2, as you can see in the left there. Reconstruction on both weapons means I don't have to reload anything other than my Conditional Finality, which actually benefits from these origin trait buffs and actually allows me to reload it even faster. For the subclass, we're going with hammers. We're going to use Rally Barricade, Catapult Lift, Throwing Hammer, Healing Nade, Roaring Flames, Soul Invictus, Torches, Mercy, Combustion, Eruption. For the mods and the armor for this crazy solo build and loadout, I went with Hands-On, Solar Siphon, and Heavy Ammo Finder. For the gauntlets, I'm going to go with Heavy Handed and probably just rock Double Impact Induction for when I do throw those baby hammers. For the chest, use whatever mods you want, except you always want to have melee damage resistance. The other 2 you can change based on what's shooting you. Definitely have melee damage resistance for rocking hammers. Triple solar weapon surge, so that way we're doing absolutely massive damage and we're making tons of orbs. Reaper mod, and then double time dilation, so that way our charges stay alive for a long time. This build is insane. This is easily the strongest build, and this loadout is probably the strongest loadout, the most powerful loadout you could possibly use to solo the dungeon that I know of right now. I myself took this into the dungeon and I almost soloed it first try. I literally got all the way to the last boss damage phase, and then my game crashed. After 2.5 hours, my game just decided to crash when I was 1 minute away from killing the boss. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Do you think this is a cool bit of information? Will you actually take advantage of this? Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed. I'll keep you up to date on all the news in Destiny 2. Smash the like button. See you in the next one. Later.